Okay, day 154.4. Just going over KOMPROMAT. KOMPROMAT is the Russian word for compromising someone. It's been used in the Soviet Union in their tradecraft, spycraft, whatever you want to call it, since after World War II at least, probably way before that. I've spoken about the Natasha program that Putin had as well. So if the Russians are running KOMPROMAT for 40, 50, 60, 70 years, I wonder if the FSB chief, Sechin, who works directly for Putin, would be doing those operations. I'm guessing yes, because he's the chief and he works directly for Putin. Now let's go back and look at the history of the FBI working with Putin. We know since at least 2008, Andy McCabe has been working with Deripaska, meeting him in Paris to set up different meetings. We know that he works with Preet Bharara, setting up Southern District of Anywhere, setting up KOMPROMAT all over the world for FIFA executives, etc. We just met somebody at the IMF, and they remember Strauss-Kahn getting conned in New York, getting compromated in New York by a maid. A bunch of French duster maids from Colombia that would come into the room and dust while the Kahn was there, Strauss-Kahn was there. That led to his ouster at IMF and Christine Lagarde to come in at IMF. So we know that Andy did it in New York. We know that it was done down in Florida with Miami Mama at the Diplomat Hotel and the little group down there. So we know Debbie Wasserman Schultz does it. We know Andy does it. We know Andy's working. He may or may not be working with the Awans, but we know the Awans had the relationship with the Freytag low-light cameras. And we know that the Awans worked on Capitol Hill for about 15 years with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Now, also Abid worked there about a year later, and their wives also worked there, Hina Alvi and also Natalia Sova. Now, Luke Rosiak has published several articles saying Natalia Sova started getting paychecks about the same time Hina Alvi did. And yet, if you look at the record now, congressional record, it only shows Natalia Sova working there for 7 months. So which is it? Because if it really is that she was receiving checks for 14 years, I know what she was doing. I mean, looking at all the evidence, she either was a hacker, which I think the Awans were the hackers, or she was a troll, and I'm not talking about an internet troll. I'm talking about somebody who's trolling for something else for compromise. We do know that in the House, there is this list of 80 different people that diverted campaign funds intended for their own campaign to other campaigns, and also fees were paid in damages to other campaigns for these misgivings or whatever you call them, indiscretions in Congress. So there's a lot of evidence that points to the fact that Natalia Sova was a honeypot or a Natasha or whatever you want to call her. Again, why wouldn't KRYLOVA, who is going along with Bogacheva to all these different primaries in all these different states, why wouldn't that be a lot like Veselnitskaya going with the New York Times reporter, like she did to all the different Trump rallies? Wouldn't it sort of follow that same logic that the KRYLOVA is probably Natalia Sova or Bogacheva?